Solange, good afternoon. Samuel Adelina, welcome to Stylish Naija Bronze. Thank you so much for being a member. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, guys, good afternoon. If you can hear me, let me know on the section today. Our today's tutorial is going to be lit, like lit. So, I just want to make sure somebody should please confirm that you can hear me so that we can start. Okay. Just confirm if you can hear me. Please let me know on the comment section. I would want to know. Okay, please just let me know so that we can start. Let's go straight into our tutorial for today. Okay, so without much talk, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be drafting the top part of our basque waistline. So actually, if you notice the picture, I actually sent 1 to 2. Oh, I have a meeting, but think I'm just gonna, that one is going to pass. So okay, so I'm actually going to be doing, okay, thank you so much, Eme, two blessing, thank you so much. So if you notice, I joined two pictures together, you understand? So I want to make this one now. Okay, so the top part of I want the top part to be like this. Then, but the down part, I want the down part to be like this, okay? So that is what I plan on doing for our tutorial for today. Okay, so let's get started. The first to do, let's draft our, so this is the fabric I'm going to be making use of. Is a cotton fabric. So let's draft the top part of our blouse. So we have to go fast because we have a whole lot today, okay? So let's get started. So the first thing, I'm just going to adjust my camera so that we can start, so that we can draft. Okay, let's see, let's bring this closer so that we can start with our tutorial for today without much talk. So the first thing I'm going to do, I want to mark a straight line. So this straight line is going to serve as our shoulder line because the dress is going to have a shoulder. So we'll mark our shoulder line like this, okay? So then from the shoulder line, the next line I'm going to mark is my bust point, okay? So I want to do this, I want it to be a classic princess dart pattern. So that's what I want to do, okay? I'm not going to be adding any pad on it. So the next thing I want to do now, I want to mark my bust point, which I'm using 10 inches. And then the under bust, I'm going to be making use of, for the under bust, I'm going to be making use of 13 inches, okay? And then my waist is 17 inches. And then my basque is going to be 22 inches. So I'll mark 22 inches here like this, okay? So all of these lines, I am going to connect them and then we'll start. So like I said, we're drafting the back, let's and the front first. So let's draft the front first. So if you are just joining us, you are welcome and good afternoon. So the next thing, I am marking the waistline, okay, and then the next line I am marking basque line, okay, so that's the basque line. So the next thing we want to, like I said, we are using a princess dart. So let's mark our shoulder line. So this is our shoulder line, okay? So we're going to mark the shoulder line. The shoulder measurement that I'm making use of, the shoulder is 13. So I'll add 13 plus 1, that's 14 inches. I'll mark it here. And then from this point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch like that. And then after coming down by 1 inch, I'm going to connect that 1 inch like this into the shoulder line like that. The next thing I want to do, if you're just joining us, you're welcome. The next thing we want to do, we want to mark our armhole. So for the armhole, I'll divide that's like measure around my armpits like this for the armhole. So for this, the measuring round of my armhole, I am going to have like about 8 inches. So I'll mark the 8 inches here like this, okay? So if you are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching from, okay? So I'm going to mark this like this, and then I would connect this. So this is going to be my chest line, okay? So the next thing, I'm going to come in by 1/4 inch into it, and then to create my curve for the armhole. And then I'm just going to create a curve, just a simple curve like this for my armhole, okay? So the next thing we want to do now, we want to take out our dart. So in order for us to take out our dart, we are going to use our, what do you call it, our bus span. So for the bus span, I'm actually using 7 inches. Okay, so I'll use 7 inches, and I'll just mark it. Okay, let me just approximate it to 8 inches. Let me just use 8 inches. So I'll mark the 8 inches across these lines like this, all of my lines. I'm dividing the 8 inches into two, so that gives me 4 inches. Okay, so I'll mark those lines across like this. Okay, and then I am going to connect it like this with a straight I'll connect it like this with a straight ruler, okay? So once I connect it with a straight ruler, the next thing we want to do, we want to create our princess dart, okay? So for me to create my princess dart, I'm going to come to my under bust line. This is my under bust line like this. I'm going to mark 2 inches. I want to use 2 inches, just 2 inches for my princess dart. I'll mark 2 inches here, and then I'll just mark like ½ inch here. So that's 2.5 inches. Let's see. Let me mark this well. I'll mark it here like this, okay? And then I'm going to rule those lines. I'll connect it to the down part like this of my pattern like this, okay? So I'll connect it like this. The next thing I want to do, I want to connect this princess dart line. I'll connect it to that bust point line like this, okay? Then this second one, this small one, also I will connect it to that same line. Do you understand? So you can see it. Thing I want to Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, I want to extend this line, okay? In order for me to extend this line, so I'm not going to use this point that is the half part of my armhole. No, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. That is what I always like doing. And then once I come up by 1 inch, I'm just going to create a curve from that point like this. I'm going to create a curve like this, okay? So you can see I've created that curve, you understand? And then this one is just blending with it. You understand? You can see the way it is blending. So the next thing, remember I used this here. The next thing, from this point, I'm going to come down by that 2 inches. I'll mark the 2 inches here like that. And then once I mark that 2 inches, I'm going to take my curve like this, my pattern curve. And you see, everything up to that bust point line also. And then I'm going to create a beautiful curve like that. Can you see? So once I've created it, I don't like how it came out, so I'm going to redo it again. Yes, yes. So you can see. So this is going to give me a very beautiful curve, okay? So the next thing I want to do, I want to extend this line. So this line, I'm going to extend it by 2.25 inches, okay? So once I mark it that way, I am going to extend it. It's not really meant to be a straight line like that. I'm just trying to get it out the right way. It's not meant to be here. It's not meant to be straight. I'll connect it this way. And then from here, I am to connect it to my armhole. That is beautiful. Okay. So this one, just I normally extend it a little bit. So that helps to avoid any form shortage. So that is all we need. This is going to be very beautiful. So the next thing, we want to take out our full body measurement. So our full body measurement, 34, it is a small size. So 34. So what I'm going to, I am going to divide that into into four, sorry. So I'm going to place it here like this. And then I am going to add my 2.5 inches for that. And then just add about 1 inch thereabout for my stitching allowance, okay? I'm going to come to my under bust, which I am using 20 inches. So I told you, I said it's a small size. I am going to place here at the under bust. I'll divide that 28 into 4. I'll place it like this, and then I'll add my 2.5 inches Remember, that's what I took from them. And then add a dart of about 2 inches or 2.5, depends on how you want. And then I'm going to come to my tummy. So the tummy is 30, yes, 30, which is 7.5. I'll add my 2 inches dart, and then I'm going to add my 2 inches or 2.5 inches allowance, okay? And then I'm going to come to my waist area. So for the waist, I am going to mark my waist measurement. I'll mark it that way, and then add my 2.5 inches, and then my 2.5 inches allowance. So the next thing I want to do, I want to connect those lines. I'll connect it like this, and then this comes like this, then this comes like this, okay? So I've marked it. So this is all that I need. So the next thing, I want to mark my neckline. So for the neck, I'm using 3 inches for the neckline. That's the width. So I'll my 3 inches here. Okay, so once I mark my 3 inches, I'm going to come down by 2 inches. You know that dress has a keyhole. So just watch how I am going to it. It is going to be a simple keyhole. So I'll use 2 inches or three. Let me use two inches. It's okay. So I just mark it here. And then for my keyhole, I'm just going to come. I don't want first area to be exposed. So I'm going to come measure like this. So I'm going to use like 3 inches. That's from that neckline. I'll use 3 inches. That's the length. And then for the width, it's going to be half of an inch. Okay. So that is a simple process. And then I'm just going to mark it like this. Can you see? So that's my keyhole, literally. It is done, like done. Okay. So as I sew it, I'm going to add to it. So this same pattern that I'm cutting for the back, that's this one, that's what I'll use to cut the back. Okay. So that's what I'm going to use to cut the back. So you're going to see, see, I've forgotten that I am making a basque waistline. I'd already dropped my whatever. So the next thing, I want to create my back waistline. It is a simple process. So for that back waistline, I'm going to come from my waist area like this, okay? So this is my waist area. So from area, I am just going to extend it. I'll just extend it. I'll just create like a curve. So the main, I'm going to actually do it when I'll do it on my fabric. It will be easier that way. So let's just continue. You guys are watching, it is a live class, so let's go. Okay, so the first thing, let me cut. Like I said I want to use this. So I'm going to use I'm coming so I'm going to use this. I'm going to place it on another pattern paper, and then I'll use it to cut out the back of my pattern. Okay, so I'll place it like this. I want to use this to cut out the back of my pattern. So just see what I am doing. I'm placing it. The only difference I have is the zip allowance, which is, so I am going to cut. So now I'm going to cut this now. Can you see? So for the dress, I want the back and the front to have that the basque. Okay. So I'm just marking this to know all of my measurements. So this is for my back neckline. So this is just like a fast way. Okay. So, and then the next thing I want to do, so that's my shoulder line, and then I'll just mark it this way. And then from that point, I am going to mark my shoulder measurement. That's like my armhole. For my back armhole, I will just create a curve for my back armhole. So you can go ahead, just draft your back piece ahead. That's go back. That's you can draft everything at once. Okay. So that was it's still the same process, the same way. Okay. So this is it. This is for my back piece. If you notice, I've not added the dart. I'll add the dart. So now let me cut out my front piece. Okay. So that we can go ahead. So this is it. Can you see the way I'm cutting it? You can see. So that's for the one side. So the next thing I am going to do now, I'm going to cut this side out. So please, if you have questions, please, this is a live class. You can ask your questions, okay, on the comment section. Just drop them. I'll once I raise my head up, I would respond to your questions, okay. So you can see I've cut everything out. The next thing we want to do, we want to can't hear you loud and clear now. Oh my god. Let's see. Okay. Okay, okay. She said, okay, so we can hear you loud and clear. Okay. I thought you said you can't hear. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do now, I want to transfer all of this into our, I want to transfer them now into my, so I want to cut out my back, the dart for my back piece. So it's a simple process. I'm just going to mark this and then I'm going to trace it, okay? So the back, I don't want the back to be a princess dart. So I'm just going to use my, like my shoulder dart pattern to cut that. So that's all I need, okay? Yes, I'm showing you people some tricks of, so I'm just going to leave that on the side and then let's transfer to our fabric, okay? So like I said, this is the fabric that I'm going to be making use of and it is a cotton fabric, very beautiful one at that. So the first thing I want to do, I want to cut out that front part. So if you notice, I ironed hairstay on some a part of my fabric earlier. So I'm just trying to fold it, you understand. I'm trying to fold this so that it will take both the back, it will take both the back and the front. So let's see, let's place this like this, okay, so that we can actually cut out the front and then we'll cut out the back. So I even have more than enough if I'm placing like this, so the other side will be enough for my back. I'm just trying to cut it in such a way that I will not fall into error. You understand? Yes, you have to be very careful. Okay, so that's like the longest part, which is very important. So I'm going to cut that out. So I'll keep these short ones first. Let's do the long part, okay? So let's do the long part. And then, so this is my back piece. Let me take that one off. So I'm just looking for, like, I don't want to cut yet, please. I think I'm going to turn it to the floor to make it easier. I don't know if you people can see. Okay, let's see. So I'm just trying to, I'm looking for a way to cut without any issues, okay? So this is okay. This will enter there perfectly well. Mhm. Okay, so I think let me cut this one out first. I pray. So let's pin it down to make it easy. So that as we cut, it will just stay on it, and then we'll start stitching immediately. Oh. So this is my front piece. So you can see the way I am cutting it. Okay, so like I told you, I said I'm not going to be padding this. I will not pad it. I want it to be like more of like a an English wear. Okay, so I'm not going to pad it. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to extend this part a little bit, and then I'll use it to cut this. Can you see? So you have to learn how to like maximize your pieces. You see? So when I turn it this way, now I'm going to even have enough extra. So, but I have to be careful, you understand, so that I can cut the back piece that is longer. I think I'm going to leave that one first. Okay, let's see. Let's work with our back piece. The back piece that is very long. I think this thing I might have to cut them one just to make sure that I have enough. You get. So I am going to cut now. Okay. So I'm cutting. So if you're just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from, okay? Let me know. Should have pinned it. I totally forgot. I'm going to pin it so that it stays down. Okay, so I hope you can. So let's continue. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to place this one on the other side and cut it, okay? I'll place it facing down. I want to cut my middle piece first, and then I would continue. So that's how we'll do it until we'll finish cutting everything that we want to cut. So this is the center part, which is like one of the most important parts. So I'll pin it down to make it easier for me. So we're going to cut now. Yes. If you notice, I added some little bit of extra to it. Initially, I actually wanted to cut this, that's this drafting part, but I was like, since it is a since it is an online class, like it is a live class, it's good to, even if we say we did not finish the tutorial today, tomorrow we can always come back and complete it. It's better than not showing every part. Okay, so you can see I've cut this part. So for those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. Okay, I would really appreciate that. Okay, so now I'm going to place this now, the remaining parts, and then cut out the other parts of my, that's the back. Let me cut this long part first of the back piece, which is very important. So I'm going to pin it down. I'm going to pin it down. I'll pin it. So when you pin it, it actually makes it easier. You get? Mm? It makes it really easy. So now I've pinned that down. So I'm going to cut. I'll cut like this. So I'm going to take out that top part. I don't want it. So I'll cut that out, okay? So the next thing, so I have this one complete. So the next thing I want to do now, I want to cut the other part of my back. So I'm just going to fold what I've got here. I've forgotten that is one side I'm cutting. I'm just going to place it like this, okay? I'll pin it. Mm, 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 mm. So I'm just trying, the thing is moving. I'm just trying to manage my table, okay? So once we finish, we'll start stitching them together. I want this dress, I want it to be very perfect. Okay. So I'll cut that out that way, and then I'll cut this side out. Okay. So the next thing now, we are going to assemble all of our pieces together, and then we'll start. So this is my back piece. Remember, I added a zip allowance. So I'm just going to mark it, and then I will open it up. So I'll open that up. So I'll mark my zip allowance part. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now, remember this part that does not have gum, that does not have interfacing. I'm going to iron interfacing on them very fast, and then we'll come and start stitching them together. It's just that I don't have my white interfacing. It is finished, so I'm just going to make use of this one. So I'll just cut this one is like gray. I'll cut it, so I'm going to use it for it, okay? So like I said, if you're just joining us, you're welcome. You're welcome. You guys should please like this video, okay? To give me some small encouragement. To give me small encouragement. I think that's the only one that don't have. And then this one, this our back, center back piece. That one too does not have hairstay. So I'm just going to place this like this. I would cut this out. So like I said, it is a live class. It's better for you guys to, let's just do what we can do today. Whenever we stop, we can continue from there tomorrow, so that you guys, so those of you that want to, so that the tutorial will be very helpful. That's just it. So that it will be very helpful. Okay, so this one we have the interfacing is complete for this one. This one, the interfacing is complete. Okay, just those two. Okay, so I'm going to iron them fast, and then we are going to start stitching them. So I'll take that out, and then just drop that. So I have my, I'd already, no, that this thing is wrong. I think you see, I marked the wrong side as the as the zip allowance side. You see. God have mercy. That's why it's good to know how to sew. I'd marked the wrong, like that's I went to notch the wrong side as the side that has the zip allowance. See, I notched it down. As I was not looking at it, I said, no, it's not possible now. The down cannot be slim because it's meant for the top is meant to be wide, while the down is meant to be slim. So it's not possible. So that's how I knew. And then I knew that something was wrong. So that's why it's good to know how to sew. You see, and be very observant when you're sewing. Don't rush. So these ones are my back piece. I'm just trying to place them so that I will not go and put gum on the wrong side. It's very possible. So those are all of the small things that come with sewing. I have to be very come here and then I'm putting on this. So you guys should just give me just 1 minute. I'll be back now. Hello guys, thank you. Those of you that are still here, thank you so much for being here. So now let's do this. Let's trim and then let me trim out the interfacing and then we'll start stitching immediately. So thank you so much. So this interfacing. So I'm still going to cut the lining, okay? So this is just like the whole process. You can see the way the process is going. So this one is always better just place it together like this when you're ironing it. Iron it together. It actually makes it easier. Okay. And then cut off every other excess that you don't want. Cut it off. So I'm just trying to make sure that everything is okay. So cut it off. So this one was that excess that came that one that I added, mistakenly added. Just cut it off, okay? So now we have all of our pieces ready. So the next thing we want to do now, let me cut out the lining and then we can stitch straight. So this is the lining that I'm going to be making use of. So you can see. So let's see. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll just fold this. Okay. Let's. So hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Solange. Thank you, Queen Brun, Queen. Thank you so much, Queen. This I saw Queen inside the name. So let me fold this, and then we'll cut out the lining. Okay, and then we are good to go. Let's see. Okay, so this is our centerpiece. So now I can take out my. I don't need it. Okay, I need it for the neckline. I'm going to come back to it. Let me place it. If you notice, I've not added my neckline. That's what I normally do. I've not added the neckline. I'm going to add it. Let's see. I'm just taking out the patterns. Okay, that's how they get lost. They get missing. You open the pack of pin before you know what is happening. The pin has, you don't even know where the pin, where did the waka go. You just find out that your pins are no more. So if you notice the basque waistline for this, I've not really shaped it very well. I just did like as I was cutting it, I actually did not really cut it very well. Okay. Actually did not cut it very well. So when you can see the way I'm cutting it. Those of you that will ask, how do you lining? Do you understand the hand? So this is how you cut your lining. This is how you actually cut your lining. Can you see? So I've cut that out, and then I am going to cut this one for this center now. Just make sure that everything is staying the same. You get. So I'll cut this out like this, and then I am going to cut this. You see, no, that call. I am navigating it. So I've navigated it. So that one is done. The next thing I want to do is I want to cut the back piece. That's the lining for the back. So I'm going to fold my remaining fabric like this. I'm going to fold my remaining fabric and then I am going to place this. So this is that back piece. So I can use one part. Let me just place it like this. You understand? So this is zip side. So most times I'll turn it like this since that's the zip side. I want it to be on that straight side that way. And then I'm going to take the center one, that's the inner one. So I'll extend this, okay, so that I'll have space. I'll place this like this, okay. So I think I'm okay, I'm good to go. So now I'm going to cut now, okay. So I'll cut this like this. If you notice, because this is a half cut, so you can notice I am cutting it the same. You understand? I'm cutting it the same. So I'll cut this like this. So let the big one go to that side. Okay. So now I want to cut this now. I'm not cutting both of them the same one. I'm just trying to like open this up. It has shifted. It has shifted. So I'm going to open my back. and then I'll place here like this. Very important, or else to avoid stories that touch. So you need that. So I'm going to cut this like this, okay? All right, so we are done with our cutting. So the next thing is for us to start sewing. Okay, I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to get my thread. I should have done this since. So I think that one is better. So let's see. Most times when I am sewing, I always like to use my lining as my mock-up. So what I mean by mock-up is I'll sew my lining first and then check it, make sure that it is okay before I proceed to sew my fabric, okay? So that's what I normally do. So let's see, let's get this here. Okay, all right. So for those of you that are just seeing me, welcome. I know some of you are surprised I've cut my hair. Yes, I just got tired of the hair and decided to just cut it all off. Okay, that's what I did. I cut it and I like it now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just still watching it. I'll keep this low cut like this. Thank you, Solange. I'll keep this low cut like this till maybe sometimes next year by the mercies of God. And then I can start plaiting my hair again. My hair grows very fast, by the way. It grows very fast. So I'll start trying to carry hair again. But the truth of the matter is just because I'm doing live stream, I don't like stressing myself like wearing wig. When I'm going out, most people don't even know that I've cut my hair. Most of my friends they don't know because I'm always on wigs. So I'm just trying to reel the threads. So let's read that fast. It's the thread. Okay, so sorry about that. I was supposed to do that actually before I started, but I totally forgot. The thread that is on top of my machine is a navy blue thread. Is it navy blue, royal blue, something? So, like I said, let's just continue, okay? I pray that we're able to go far. This part are like the hard part of making this dress. So after now, once we start coupling now, that's the thing with sewing. You're always looking for something. You're always looking for something. Okay, so I have that out. All right. Machine, behave yourself. Do well, do us well. Network, do us well. And then let's start. Okay, so like I said, I will use my what do you call it? See, you guys should see. See what I cut. Try. I want to use my lining first as my mock-up. Okay. I always like doing that. Let me do that. Let me do the back one. So this is the back piece, okay? So I'm using my lining as my mock-up first. So here's how you sew. So this is your zip allowance back part. So you definitely, you know that the zip allowance is on this side. So you're going to take this and then you're going to place this like this, okay? And then I am going to stitch it, okay? So let's see. So I'll just top stitch that, and then you know that the back I actually did not do the back like a princess. I just use round it. I ran it to the shoulder. So like I said, most times when I sew, I like using my lining. I'll use it as a mock-up first. That's after when you finish cutting, transferring your patterns. I will stitch my lining first and then see it. You understand? I will see it. I'll make sure that it is okay, that I like what I am seeing. You see, this is one part of our lining, okay? So now I'm going to stitch the other part, and I'm trying as much as I can. Let me not make any errors. But at least thankfully, I have to be very careful. More. All this lining, where they look the same. So you can let me not go and okay. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Mhm. I don't want to run into any error because I don't want to start loosening as I am stitching now. Okay, so I am the back so far. The first part that I've done for my back piece is okay. You understand? So far, it is okay, very okay. So you guys should please like this video. I would appreciate. Okay, Barbara, you're welcome. So thank you so much. All right, so this is our. I'm still going to trim them. So now we are done with the back. So I can sew my actual back piece now. Yes, because I've tried the mock-up. It is okay. So now I'm going to take this. This is the actual piece, and then I'm going to place them like this. I am going to stitch, okay? So I will stitch. If you have questions, you can drop your questions on the comment section. You guys should please like the video. I would appreciate that. Okay, like the video. All right, so let's continue. So for those of you that want to, like I always say, those of you that want to improve your pattern drafting skills, that want to improve your pattern drafting skills. The last time was on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday we were actually trying to do a live stream in the evening. And then my electricity, I had problem with my electricity. Like I say, most times I you people know now in this country there's hardly light. So I always most time I run on solar panels, and I've noticed that the batteries for my solar panels, they are a little bit, not that they're a little bit, they are weak. Like they became weak. Do you understand? So since they became weak, it no longer holds. So this is the back piece. You can see it. It looks good. It no longer holds. It does not hold charge. It does not hold charge. It does not hold much charge again. So most times before you know what is happening, it will just, if there's no light, before if there is no light, your solar panel will carry you. But now it does not carry because the batteries are weak. Okay. Batteries are weak. So that means new batteries. And batteries now, let me not even say, you understand? Let me not even say if you are somebody that if you use solar panel in your house, if you have inverters, you will know how much those batteries they cost now. So we just need to get new sets of batteries now for our inverter. So that was what happened that day, that on Tuesday. I was trying to do the live stream, there was no light. Of course, there's always no light on them. Before I knew what was happening, the batteries, that's the little charge that was on the battery, just went up. So I had to shut down that what do you call it, that live stream that day. Okay. So but nevertheless, don't worry, that will soon be taken care of by God's grace. Okay. So I'm just trying to check, like I said. So this is the back. I'm trying to check. Okay, so we are done with our back piece. Can you see? This is one side of the back. This is the second side of the back. Done. So now we are coming to the front. Okay, so this is our front. This is the center of our front. Okay, for my what do you call it? I want to do my mock up with the lining first. Okay, like I said, that's what I always do. Like I always do that. So I'm going to start sewing. So let me start from the down. That's what I normally do when I'm sewing. I will, especially my princess, that I will know the parts the way I will do it. I'll sew from upper times. I will. So I'm stitching now. I'm stitching now. So you can see. So I'm trying to navigate the bust, the curve that's around the breast area. That is what I am trying to do. So as I'm doing it, you see that part that is curved. I'm just using my hands to turn it around small, small. I'm turning it. I'm turning it. I'm turning it. So you can see. You see, it entered perfectly well. So that means sewing from the down is okay. So okay, so that's it. So I've stitched one part. The next thing, I'm going to stitch the other part for the down, for the blouse. So that's what I normally do, like I said. Okay. So if you're just joining us, say hello, say hi. That will be good. So I'm stitching the other part now. So that's the other part. I would I am just stitching, and then once I get to the part that has the curve, you understand, that's the bust area. So you just use your hand. I've showed you guys before how to do this on a more closer range, how to actually couple a bustier. Sometimes on this YouTube, you would think that sometimes when you do tutorials that are simple, it's like people don't really have regard for them. You understand? It's like everyone want to learn the hard things or something. But the truth of the matter is, you getting to those hard things is from the little ones. That's where you actually start from. You understand? You put up a tutorial now how to couple a bustier. You see, most people they might not watch it. They'll feel like, but the truth of the matter is, how many people can actually couple a bustier? Can you see our princess that? Can you see? You see how the thing came out? It came out fine. There's no pad though. This is just my mock up. This is actually for my lining. This is my lining piece. It looks good. It looks good, really good. So now I am free. So I can go ahead and do my actual piece. Okay. Okay. So I can go ahead and do my actual piece. That's what I normally do. Instead of you just start. Really, Tolu, Lope, you're welcome. Instead of you just going and start stitching your main fabric, sew your lining first. That will actually help you a whole lot. Okay. So now we're going to sew this. I'll place it here. So I'm stitching the down. That's like basically like literally going through the same process again. So, but this time now, at least you know you have done, as in you know that you have stitched. You understand? So I'm trying to navigate the curves. You understand? The bustier part of my curve. So I'm navigating it. and then I am taking it, I am stitching. So you can see it entered perfectly well for me, which is a good thing. No part is hanging up, no part is hanging down. You can see my curve. My curve looks beautiful. So the next thing, I'm going to stitch the other side, and then we are going to go and start coupling it together. That's like joining back and back, front and front, and then we'll continue. So let's see how many minutes. Wow. Well, I've done like 54 minutes already. That's, I thought we could finish the top part today. I don't like doing more than 1 hour. So I'm just going to, maybe I'll try and do like, once we can couple the top part, we'll leave it tomorrow. By the mercies of God, we'll come and finish it up. We'll come and fix the down part. So I'm just trying to navigate the curve, okay? Yes, our princess that looks so beautiful. Even though it is a small size, let me try it on my chest. Can you see? It looks good, right? It looks good. Yes, I know it looks good. It does look good. It does looks good. So I'm going to take this back to my ironing table and try and iron very fast. I'll be back. Okay? So sorry guys, I just want to show you guys how to iron the front piece, okay? How to iron it. So this is how you actually iron. So you open up your seams like this. You understand? Open them and then iron them. Can you see? So you open them like this. Make sure you open the seam. So after opening, so like I said, this one I actually did not put anything inside, just my hairstay. Iron. Then I'm going to open here like this. Can you see? Can you see the way I'm ironing it? So this will help to give it a beautiful curve. Can you see? So you open it, stretch it out and iron it with your steam. You understand? You can see the steam on the iron. Iron it out, stretch it out very well. Can you see? You see? Can you see? This will give it a very smooth, you get a very smooth part. So stretch it out and then steam it properly. So once you have done that, you iron the other parts. Just iron them like that. Okay? Iron them. And then can you see? This is without any pad. See the inside. Nothing is inside, okay? So that's it. I'll take. Okay. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to trim it. That's we want to shape it now, like shape, like final shape. So this is beautiful. I like the outcome of it. Okay. So here, this part now, I want to notch that part. If you notice that there's one small. Mhm. You have to be careful so that it does not. You have to be careful so it does not cut. You get very careful. So I'll just keep my lining outside. I'm working on my actual piece, so I'll keep my lining. Okay. So this is my actual piece. So here's where I want to add my neckline and then add everything before I continue. Shape the back, shape everything. So I'll make sure that those parts that they align. Okay. So the next thing I want to do now, let me use the white chalk. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is like this. Just take a look, okay? And then I'm going to take this guy here. Let me use the right side so that you guys can see it clearly. So you can see. So I'll just take here like this. I want that part, I want it aligned, okay? I'll take this, I'll place it like this. Can you see? Hmm? Can you see? So you see the way I'm placing it. I want to do the shape now. I want to shape it like final shaping. So I'll make sure that that part is like that. Everything is okay. So the next thing I want to do, I want to take out my measurement. I have a little chalk here. Mhm. So I want to take out my measurement. So I'll take out my shoulder. Let me get my glasses so I can see. Okay. So if you have questions, please drop. Okay. Okay, which part you are not seeing very well, please let me know. So the next thing I want to do now, I want to take her final measurement. So I'm going to come. So this is the shoulder part. So I'll take my shoulder measurement. So our shoulder is 13. So I'll mark the shoulder here like this, okay? And then from this part, I'm going to come to the bust. So I'll place the bust here like this. So the bust measurement that I'm making use for this. So my measurement is here. So our bust is, I'm using 35. So I'm just going to mark this and then add allowance because I'll sew my lining and turn them. And then I'll come to the under bust like this, okay? So the under bust is 28, which is 7. And then I'll add, remember my allowance. Remember, I added like 2 inches allowance. So this is the part where I reduce all my allowance now, okay? And then my waist, I'm using 30 for the waist, okay? Which is 7.5. So I'm just going to approximate, then I'm going to mark it. I'll just cut that part out. And then this one is for my back piece. So this is my back. So I'm trimming, can you see? I'm just trimming my back piece like this so that I'll get out any zipper bulge for that back piece. Okay. So I'll get out any zipper bulge there. And then this side I'm trimming whatever needs to be trimmed out like that. And then the side I am okay. So before by let me finish the side. So here like this, I'm going to take out my length for the basque. So I want my basque to be okay. I said I'm using 22, so I'll mark my 22 like that. Okay. And then the next thing I am going to do, I want to mark the waist. So her waist is 17. So this is 17, okay? So it's from here I am going to I'm going to curve a basque. So I want it to be a sharp basque like this. So can you see? So I'm trimming now. This watch and note. Okay, so this armhole, I don't really need to do anything. I'll leave it, I'll come back to it. Okay. Okay, so let me just double check my final before I okay, okay, okay. So now I want to add my neckline to it, okay. So this is the neckline for my front piece. Remember, so this is my neckline. So I'm going to place it like this. Okay, and then I am going to cut. Let me use the other big scissors. And then I'm going to add my keyhole. I don't want it to be too wide, okay? So that is why I am going to add it small. I don't really want it to be too wide, and I noticed it's not round enough. I don't want it to show. So you see the way the neck is okay, right? So the next thing now, I want to cut the back neckline. I want to cut the back neckline because that neckline is going to have rope. So like I said, once I couple it, I'm going to stop the stream. Tomorrow we'll continue from where we stop, please. Okay. So that it will be okay. The network is I started fluctuating. So I'll place this like this. Mm. I want to cut the back neckline. So for the back neckline is going to be higher. So I'll just mark it. You understand? Like I always tell you people, make sure that the neckline that they align. Make sure that they align. That's like the important part. So that we are done. I want to this neckline. I want to bring it down a little bit. So this, when I say a little bit, I'm not touching the width. That's the part I am touching, and then increase the keyhole small. Can you see? This is my keyhole. Gosh, I've made it too big. Oh, I've made it too big. I actually did not want it to be as big as this. I've made it too big. And it's not even round. That's the annoying part. I think it's better. See, it's round now, but it's too big. But it's okay. Just pray it does not show anything. Okay. So we are done. So now we are good to go. We can start stitching. So I'm just going to stitch, and then after stitching, okay. So I hope you can see me, Dorcas. I hope you can see me now. I hope it is better. So if you notice the lining, I actually did not trim the lining. Stitching after doing the front, that's after everything, you're going to take this like this. So like I said, I'm going to stop the stream now, and then I'll stitch it off camera. That's I'll couple it tomorrow. By God's grace, we'll come back and we will complete it. That's like, so you place this like this. Do you understand? So now I want to trim our lining. Okay. So it is a half cut. So you trim everything. Make sure you're trimming everything. It's going to be the same. He said I should not stop. It's because I feel the thing is getting too long, that the live stream is getting too long. So that is why I'm thinking of stopping it. So let's see. So I am, can you see the way I'm trimming it? So you trim it, make sure everything is the same. Do you understand? You have trimmed it. If you notice, I did not trim the neckline. That's how I normally do my own. I'll use my machine to shape line, okay? And then I'm going to take this one now. This is my lining, okay? I'll take the lining. Mm. I want everything. I want it to be the same. So I'll take this. So that neckline, I will not sew the neckline. The only part, I'll show you the part I'm going to sew for the neckline. I'll sew only the keyhole part. But the other side, I'm not going to sew it because I'm going to pipe it. The neckline is going to be piped. Okay. So I'll place this. Can you see? I'll place this like this, and then I am going to trim. If you are not very sure, don't cut it equally. Just leave a little bit inches so that when you are sewing, you can arrange it. Okay. So that's that. So now let's couple it together and see. All right. So let me show, let's start with the front. So you take your lining like this, you open it. Can you see? You open your lining, and then you take your piece like this, you open it. Can you see? You open them on the other. So like I said, the neckline, the only part I'm going to sew here is the keyhole part. I'm not going to sew this other part of the neckline. You get? So you use your hand, make sure you use your hand to arrange it. Let everything enter. You get? You can pin it if you want to make it easier. You can pin it. Just make sure as you are sewing it, make sure you understand. You can see the way I'm using my hand to make sure that the lining cups and the fabric cups, they are now. It has entered properly. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'll sew here. I'm not going to sew the other part because I told you, I said I'm going to use a piping to pipe that part. Okay. So I'm just going to turn the keyhole part like this. If not, if you don't want to turn it, you can just go ahead and stitch. And there's something I noticed, that part is not straight, so I'm going to do it again. Okay. So I'm going to trim that out now, and then I'm going to sew the side. I'm not going to sew the down. So the only part I stitch is the keyhole, and then I'm going to stitch the side. And then as I stitch the side, I'll make sure I put my hand. Do you understand? Make sure that the cups, they are sitting properly. I'm not going to stitch the down part. I did not stitch the down. So I'll stitch that one like that, and then I'll cut that open, and then I'll still make sure, very important, make sure you can see it is sitting properly. You see it is like balanced properly. If it does not balance, this is where the whole problem starts from. You get? So you have to make sure that it is sitting properly, and then you can see I'm trying to use my hands to open it to make sure, because I don't want any issues at the end of the day, that it is not staying well or this or that. No. So that is why you have to check it properly as you are working. So I'm not doing an inseam, so that is why I did this one. So the neckline, and now I'm going to take my back piece. Okay, so make sure this is the right side. This is the right side. You place it like this, right side facing right side. Okay, and then you're going to stitch on the zip allowance part. That is where you will stitch. So you stitch the zip allowance part like that, and then once I get to the neckline part, I'm going to just like stop it like that, and then I will curve it. Just create a curve like this, just to create that neckline. Okay, so that was why I said don't trim it. Most times I usually don't trim it. It's easier for you to navigate it this way, and it will be okay. Okay, so the next thing, you would stitch the side like this. Okay, and then I will stitch the second one. That's the other part of my back piece, and I'm looking for it now. Imagine where he enter. So I'm going to take this like this. Okay, so I'll place this, and then I want to say thank you to all of you that tuned into our tutorial for today. Thank you so much. Like I said, I am stopping the tutorial now. Tomorrow, by God's grace, we'll come and complete it. I'll show you guys how to couple it, how to join the skirt to it, and then maybe we'll do the sleeve is a simple sleeve though. It's just a small puffle sleeve. So I just want to say thank you all of you that tuned in. So in the evening, we're going to be coming up for our live stream. Our live streams are usually evening live streams are usually pattern drafting. You know, yesterday I was trying to teach you guys how to cut a trouser with a free hand. So I think I am going to repeat it because that was what we were trying to do before, like I the story of the light before the light matter started. So I just pray and hope I'm able to do that today. So guys, so thank you so much, all of you that tuned in. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Queen, Queen, thank you. Queen Evelyn, thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. So, like I said, tomorrow we're going to continue. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you all. Love you. Bye.